Congratulations on the purchase of your new ArcaBulls trading systems, momentum channels, aka Alpha LITE. So this is going to be a little bit of a quick start guide, or you can consider this an overall guide for you to learn how to read your new algorithm. Okay, guys. So let's go ahead and pop open here the chart. So the first thing you want to do is locate your algorithm, right? So what you want to do is enter this area right up here. We're going to mark it off with an arrow right up in here. So that area, if you kind of hover your mouse over that, you're going to notice that this is for the indicators, metrics, and strategies. So clicking on that section there would bring up that window. Okay, now under this window, you're going to notice that there is an area all the way down here that's called invite only. Now, since the indicators, the proprietary trading systems here for ArcaBulls are invite only, we're going to go ahead and select after the fact when you have already provided your proof of purchase and your TradingView username to the ArcaBulls@gmail.com. After that, you will be given the access for the lifetime of your new algorithm, and this would be located again right through that indicators tab, and this specific folder here, invite only. Okay, so now what we want to look for is momentum channels Alpha LITE, right? So let's go ahead and locate that right over here. So we're going to select momentum channels here. You want to make sure to select this little yellow star here, right? Because that would put it into your favorites, of which then you could identify or locate via this little arrow here, right? The one that's blinking right up there. Okay, so that when it blinks like that, you'll be able to notice that there it is, right? So as soon as you click on this momentum channels, you'll see here ABT Alpha LITE come up, and that is going to be officially the your indicator completely here for you to use, right? So now let's go ahead and go over some parameters here, guys, because this is usually typically this is a plug and play indicator, and all you do really here is just to make sure that you can observe every single time frame against whatever asset it is that you decide to trade. So this can be used within futures, Forex, the foreign exchange trading, currencies. It could be used on traditional equities, stocks, right, and cryptocurrencies, anything. It is completely, let's see, a general purpose indicator. Now, actually, those of you who are in the bit of the technical side here, you're going to wonder how it is that it generates its signals. So this generates the signals via a untraditional, right, via non-traditional volatility metric. So the volatility metric is actually built around whole moving averages, HULL. Now the whole moving averages here I have several bands put together very closely to each other, and I have since kind of consolidated them and put them against each other here for the price action. So there's roughly around 12 of those whole moving averages, and I created a cloud and hiding them within this. So what happens is that when you have contraction of price action slowing down and price action just literally just moving sideways, you get the bands to kind of tighten up, right? So those bands really they get really close to each other. So then there's the potential of expansion as soon as there is some explosive price movement or beyond the norm of price fluctuations within the time frame that you're observing. So you can see here that it's very tight, and you can see here that it's very wide, right? Okay, so that just tells us here that we're able to create a buy-sell signal or buy-sell condition via the amount of contraction or the crossing over of specific bands within the 12 bands that are inside of the channel itself, hence the name momentum channels. Okay, so now that we kind of know that here, let's go ahead and open up the inputs window, right? So now the background color on this, guys, you're going to be able to remove either the background, right, for the buy and sell bands here, just like this, or like that. It still will leave, right? It'll still leave your sell condition here and your buy condition here, right? It'll still leave it there. you won't need to worry about that. You can always bring it back. But remember, the settings menu is located right here where the alpha light showed up, right? As soon as you hover over that, you can see the gear icon, and you click on that gear icon, and then this menu pops up. Okay, so let's do that again. Here you go. So background color, you can go ahead and get rid of that if you want, right? Okay, now you can also get rid of the highlights here, right? You can make it even a little bit thicker too. Or the bottom one, you can make it a little thicker as well, so you can see that in a different, under different conditions here. Now, should you want to get rid of your buy side and sell side labels, well, you can. I wouldn't imagine why, but that is there for you as well. I mean, you could do this, right? And you could just leave the buy and sell conditions like this without the price labels, right? Or the pain labels. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so I guess there could be use on that. So now let's go ahead and go into the inputs menu here. And I have selected this as a predefined user setting with the short EMA period of a 10 period, meaning a 10-day look back from whatever time frame you're observing here. So if it's a 30-day time frame that we're looking at, right, 30-day candles, we can use an exponential moving average crossover strategy that would be like a 10-day, right? So it would be 10 days of an EMA period within the 30-day time frame that the algorithm looks back, right? So it'll look back in a closing basis and give you the average movement based around the crossover of the short EMA against your long SMA. In this case, I'm just using a short moving average period of a 10 EMA versus a 20 simple moving average period, right? What that does is that anytime the volatility of the expansion or contraction of the whole moving averages meet the criteria and also meet the criteria of the short EMA and long SMA crossing over each other or below each other, this will consider giving you your buy or sell signal. So that is how you determine it. You can use various different popular choices, right? For example, you have your triple moving average crossovers that people use, right? So the specific two of them within that would be your SMA 5, and we can use an EMA 9, right? So this could be, you can reverse them like that, right? You can use your EMA 9 and SMA 5 here and see how that works out. So you could also use your EMA 9 and SMA 20 or SMA 10 and SMA 20, right? There is also the crossing over of the, let's just say we would use the 55 EMA and the 200 SMA on a shorter time base. Now, all of those are popular moving average crossover strategies, right? So what's going to happen here is that Alpha LITE is going to be updated into adding more potentials of crossover possibilities in the near term. Okay, guys, but that is typically how you do it. Now, what you want to do is once you select your defined moving average crossover strategy, well, then you're going to want to test what time frame it is that you're getting the best signals out of, right? So in my case, I'm really just choosing here. Let me just go ahead and put the buy labels on this, right? Just like pain labels, just like that, right? So this was originally meant to be used as a scalping tool, right? In the immediate short-term time frame, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute time frame, but it has since worked out very, very nicely for the longer time frames, like a 30-minute time frame here. So if you're noticing, this is where your discretion comes in, right? So you're looking at this on a 30-minute XRP, and you're using Alpha LITE. So this is a good signal here, right? So it told you to buy here, and it told you to sell there, and now the bear phase is over here, so it's telling you to buy. Okay, great. So now what about before that, right? So you had a buy signal here, and it's sold up there. So very good. Right? You had a buy signal here, it's sold up there. So what you're doing here is just back testing little by little, just like that, manually, which time frame would be the one that has the higher hit rate for you, right? So in my case, I was doing things like this, right? So 29-minute time frame. I wanted to see how accurate this was against your 28-minute time frame and your 27-minute time frame. Or we were going down like 2-minute time frame, right? We want to see what those signals were actually doing here. Were they accurate, right? 3-minute time frame, 4-minute time frame, 5, 6, 7. So whichever one shows that it has the biggest consistency, well, that's the one I started to kind of look forward to forward testing then. Right, so I'm seeing, okay, this one has a good hit rate here, right? So let me now check, moving forward from this point on, I want to see how many times it fires, and I want to see if it does work out for me as the type of trader that I am. Should it be that I want to observe the longer swing trade or the more immediate short-term trade? It is completely versatile, right? So you could also adjust your again, right, your input settings, right? Should you want a shorter trading time period, you can use something like an EMA 3 over an SMA 5. You can use something like an SMA 5 or an EMA 5 over an SMA 10, or maybe even an SMA 14, right? Things like that. So you can be as creative as you can be, right? So the rate of change length, please just go ahead and leave it at 7. It shouldn't really do anything right there. It's just really there to make sure that it is on a 7 period, okay, 7%. So make sure to leave it right there, guys, and everything will be good here. But yeah, so this is the Alpha LITE to instructional video here, guys. So make sure that you know also the last thing that I'm going to talk to you about, okay? Now, when I'm going to block the visibility of the price here, right? So let's just go ahead and hide that. And notice how the momentum bands here have this this working blue and green. I'm sorry, this red and green, right? So let me show you something that's a little more sensitive, right? So why don't we go up to like maybe even like a 3-hour time frame and see about this the concentration of the colors here. So yeah, it's not really volatile right now, but I want you to notice here how the dark green is a little bit the hue on this area here is lesser than the hue here, right? So that's telling you that the weakness is in, and this is likely to start turning red before you get a sell signal, and then this thing just does its thing, right? So you can get false signals like this too. This is why we want to backtest them as much as possible. Okay, so why don't we go up to an 8-hour just to give you like a real volatility, actual something or another, right? And I'm wondering here if we're gonna, okay, yeah, I guess this will do, right? Check this out. So unfortunately, on the 3-day time frame, this is about as sensitive as I can show you, right? So you can see here, guys, that you even have a brighter red, and the red also starts to kind of diminish here as soon as the green starts to show that maybe there's a buy side coming in. So your buy side comes in at a dark green, and it concentrates deeper and deeper into your brighter greens until you get a massive volatility actual push, which is just, this is all buy, right? And then when it starts turning the red, it doesn't mean that it's going to give you the sell signal. It's just a warning for you to know that the possibility is there to get this thing to maybe take profit. And notice here that the red signals here were not as dark as or as pungent or as concentrated as these here, right? So that's roughly right when that sell signal came in from the buy signal down here, and now that marked off a 3-day successful trade. Okay, so I think that this is a pretty good place to leave off. Should you have any more questions, remember that the link is to purchase this is in the description below, and all you have to do is just click on the square link and make sure to send over your proof of purchase and your TradingView username to ArcaBulls@gmail.com. And once again, welcome to your new Alpha LITE algorithm. Thanks a lot, guys, and I wish you well. Please remember, guys, that none of this can actually be taken as financial advice. So with that said, let's just go ahead and finish it off here with that tail, right, guys? Please do me the favor, guys. Never take anything of which I say or iterate here as any form of financial advice, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any tickers whatsoever, any assets, right, or our algorithms. So I need you to do your due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, I wish you well, and I'll catch you at the next one. Adios, team. Oh, yeah.